what you got? And I have a feeling it's about the Bour factors.
Yeah, that's correct. So at founded suspicion, we have the right to hold individuals. But what we're trying to disseminate is what is the difference between federal arrest and founded suspicion? Did the state restrict the Fourth Amendment in founded? And if so, is New York arrest comparative to federal arrest?
All right. I'm going to give you I'm going to take my best shot at this because actually haven't answered a De Boer question in a while. Okay. And,
Okay.
but I think I have some good feedback for you. So first of all, I want to start with Mike. Mike, do you know what the De Boer factors in New York are?
Gosh, it's one of those, I'm going through my little notes here of like legal words that I have to use so I can communicate with you in life. And I know it's in there, but it's not coming to mind right now.
Okay. So actually, this is actually kind of cool for those officers who are not from New York. New York is the only state that I'm aware of that has a four-tiered system for contacting people. Okay. And Corey, you tell me if I say anything that that's basically like not true, do not hesitate to be like, no, actually, we don't do that here anymore, or that's how we do business, whatever. So,
yes, sir.
Okay. So let's start off with knowledge for everybody that can use. In every state besides New York, there's basically 3 encounters, right? You got consent, you got reasonable suspicion, you have an arrest. In New York, because they don't like their cops, except Corey, they like him. Because they don't like their cops, they like to make things a little more complicated. And De Boer comes from a case called De Boer. Is that, maybe you know that from the academy, Corey, but I think the case is called De Boer, right?
That's correct.
Okay, and it's DABOUR. Okay, so yeah, so De Boer. So here's what they have basically in a nutshell. They have I think they call it a mere inquiry. What's the first factor? Mere inquiry?
The right to request information.
Yep.
The right to request information. Now, the next one is your founded suspicion, correct?
That's correct.
Then wait, did I have okay, so consensual encounter.
Common right law of inquiry.
A purely consensual encounter is the fourth one, right? But in New York, though, here's what's weird about this. It's actually two kind of weird. In New York, a truly consensual encounter is, in my view, by the courts, it's not for criminal activity. It's like literally like talking to the pizza guy about how his day went. When you actually have when you are intending to actually get criminal information from a person, they call that, again, mere inquiry.
Right to stop and detain.
Right. Again, I always mere inquiry, and then you have the founded suspicion, then you have the arrest. Okay, so a consensual encounter is what they really mean is like truly not a criminal thing. The next one is this mere inquiry thing. You are not allowed to like do much with that unless you have reason, unless you have this founded suspicion. You can't. I mean, man, what? Right, Corey? You can't even. I don't think you can ask for consent.
At founded suspicion?
No. With just mere inquiry thing. The first.
Oh yeah. No, you can't.
Nope. And you cannot. And one thing I do know, Mike, and this is why it's kind of odd, is that you cannot accuse. You can't even intimate that people are involved in criminal activity at that level. So it's like, right? It's very strict, and you're kind of. I like to say you're on pins and needles in New York. Like you want to talk to people and be like, hey, hopefully I can get something here. Like maybe the guy's involved in criminal activity. But if you start treating him anywhere near like a criminal, that's why you can't ask for consent, because when you ask for consent, it basically sends a signal to reasonable people that they are suspected of a crime. You can't do that under this mere inquiry stuff.
That's right.
Now, okay, huh?
What about if the response on the ones you can ask are leading you to suspicion? And you can continue, right?
Cool. That's right. Say, hey, how you doing today, man? What brings you to what brings you to Times Square, or what brings you to our fine town today? And you suspect that they may be involved in criminal activity, right? But you can't say it. You gotta kind of be very cool about it. And they start, I'm going to the Walmart, whatever, and Walmart's a bad example because they're probably open to it, but that place is closed. Oh, I'm waiting for the bus to come, but the buses are stopped running. That's the type of stuff that can start leading you to reasonable suspicion. Now, Corey, to answer your question now at this level, is your RAS the same as the federal? Yeah, I do. That's what I teach. I think that I think it's very similar. Now, I will tell you that there are some rules that are different. For example, unprovoked flight is not the same in New York right? As it is in Illinois and other states, meaning you have to have more than high crime area and evasion, right? Unprovoked flight in New York. I know that some other rules are more strict, like some more specific scenarios are stricter than the Supreme Court. But as far as what reasonable suspicion is, which is a moderate chance of illegal activity, I think the answer is yes. And James actually gave you the cases, People versus the Bour. It's an old case too. Oh, James, I wish you would send it to everybody, please. Resend it because you only sent it to me, the host and panelists. Resend that, please, and send it to everybody. But I think, and look, if anybody else is on here, James, are you a New York cop? If there's any other officers that have anything else to add to this, please do. I am no way an expert in these, the Bour factors. I do have a book for New York. And okay, cool. Thanks, James. I do have a book out of New York, and I do obviously talk about the Bour factors, but it can get a little dicey, but it's kind of confusing, and I wish that they would get rid of it. But of course, it's New York, and they're gonna make things harder, not looser. But that's how I teach it right now.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome, man. Thank you.